and that just helps with the groundwater. But that's what you're going to see predominantly. You'll see that there are no sunshades on that side of the building or on that side of the building. They're going to be on the south and the west, and that's typically the way they're oriented in this hemisphere.
So that's southwest.
Yeah, south is that way, and west is that way.
How much of the area, since you're on a large facility such as you, how much of the area was constituted as the site? And I'm not really looking for specifics. I'm wondering how that was balanced. Do you know what I mean?
Well, typically the way it's done is the limits of construction will extend as far as you can extend them without impeding walkways, streets, deliveries. So my suspicion is that this site, which had to contain a logistics laydown area, probably went from the street all the way back to Web Center, over to the maglev, and probably all the way over to the parking lot. Pretty tight site, though.
Right, sure.
Pretty tight site. They may have grabbed some of the parking lot as laydown area.
In regards to quantifying permeable areas, that would be
basically how much asphalt you rip off. And you know that. You know that. If it's part of your stormwater plan, you're going to show them what you're taking up. Lead aside, and I'm sure you already know this, for any state project, you've got to have a state-approved stormwater management plan. How are you going to manage runoff from the site? Part of that permitting process shows you the area that's going to be disturbed. You have to use your land disturbance permit for that as well. That's all part of that process. So that's all known, and that's how the credits will be calculated.
EV1, have they done any other?
No, donated money. The contractor who built this building went out of business, I'm told. I came in July, they finished this building in March.
Oh, so they finished before you got
here? Yeah. I've just had to do enough tours of here that I've gotten familiar with it.
Yeah, no, you sounded so. I would have known unless you told me.
So, any questions about the building envelope or the site and how we handled those credits or got
Did
those
you have
credits?
any regional credits for any of the brick? Were you able to get anything within 500 miles?
The brick was within 500 miles. We're a little handicapped because 250 miles of radius is out in the ocean.
Right.
So, but one of the good things is that there's a major steel supplier in West Virginia who is 240 miles, 200 miles. So you can get a lot of steel through those folks. And there are only maybe 10 fabricators like that in the United States. So I would suspect the steel got us credits. Certainly would have gotten credit for cement content, or for block content rather, because block is made locally. I don't know this precast. All the precast that I use in the other buildings, 150, 200 miles max. Right. So we're well easily. It's easy for us to source within a 500-mile radius for those kinds of things. Then you get to things like these specialty panels, and yeah, who knows? I don't know where they were formed or either of those. Sure. But that's that's low-hanging fruit. When the contract, the way you do these lead projects is you put the requirement on the contractor to manage it in accordance with the Green Building Council's manual, and the manual tells the contractor, how to do certain things, and you tell him to follow the best practices in that manual. Then you hold him responsible for getting the construction-related credits, which are spelled out in the contract. Okay, you give him the lead score sheet and say these are the things we're going for. You can make you are responsible for making those.
So you're not engaging contractors in the design phases of these projects.
Well.
I understand the dynamics. So
well, we are some of them because now Dragus, for very simple projects, you're talking really about a CM at risk project, construction management at risk, where you bring the constructor on at the same time you bring the architects on. And we do that for very complicated buildings, or even reasonably complicated buildings. But Dragus Hall, for instance, was a $4.2 million job. One, it's below the state's threshold for CM, which is $5 million. But two, it was yes, it was a renovation, but like I told you, we cleared out the building. It's like new construction. So what we did was go to 100% drawings and then pre-qualify 5 contractors and gave them the drawings and said price it. We didn't bid them because it's too dangerous to bid in this market.
Right.
But we pre-qualified and did it that way. Now for Monarch Theater, for the addition to Dean that we're going to do here on the Elkhorn right-of-way, for the new systems research and academic building, for student success, which is going up, those were straight CM at risk projects. We brought the contractors on between schematic and DD, typically maybe a month and a half into the design contract, and they're part and parcel of developing the league scorecard.
Has that been successful for the university?
I'll tell you after we try to certify our first building.
Fair enough.
I like the CM process. I think you pay more up front, but I also think, for instance, we're probably going to end up in litigation on Scotland House. It's the only job that's been hard bid since I've been here.
Sure.
Other than Orchids, which could have ended up in litigation.
I'm sure glad.
So am I. And in this environment, it's just, you don't want to bid anything in this environment. You want to pre-qualify people.
Sure, no, of course. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's not necessarily the way our legislators see things, and certainly contractors are pressuring them. But I think you save money over the long haul. I can tell you that it cost me $80,000 above and beyond the contract price just for the special inspections and due diligence I had to do because the contractor was obviously non-responsive a month